And the last question, probably, and then before we wrap it up and stuff too, and then like Seiji and everybody's here, and even like the Jade also. But how do as the both of you, Brandon and Aiden, you want to study here? How do we select the academic advice? That's a really important thing, right? Right. Yeah. I choose to say that. That's really, yeah, that's that's, but how do we select the academic advisors if you have to access? So, if you have what's the recommendations? What, how they select the academic advisors?
Yeah, so first of all, I think it's depends on their interest or the field of the study. So what kind of research in the future and what kind of direction they want to be. So that's one way. So then they can actually focus on the which kind of the advisor in the, depend on their research field. Plus, I think important thing is that how they want to be the what kind of relationship with what. So if depend on the supervisor, I think this is I think I because I have been working at the university at the United States for a long time, so I see many kind of supervisor and student relationships. Then overall, in the United States, the relationship between the student and supervisors is it's very close. I thought it's close, like a colleagues in each other. But in Japan, many cases like boss and it's very different way to guidance advice. So, so that means it's very important to select to be right direction of your field and also the relationships with supervisors. So that's
I would ask you, Jade, do you think like our relationship is hierarchical or just like we're close?
No pressure. At all. I have that goal. Well, to be honest, I think it's like very close because before I come to Japan, well, one of the thing I hear the most from my senior is like you have to be careful when you're talking to your supervisor because in Japan you have like the culture of the hierarchy. So depending on how you approach, how you send an email, how you talk to the supervisor, uh, or you're going to be ignored, or you're going to be sometimes it's a cultural thing. And when I approached him, to be honest, the first time I find him on Google was because of our last name is the same. Yes, so we were looking for a supervisor. I find him like, oh, his name is similar to mine, so I entered the research gate and oh, the same fields. Oh, he speaks English also. So it was the primary reason that I approached him. But after I could know him better, I could see like the most important thing like is the communication. Uh, I can have like a communication, a conversation as I would have like with someone else. I don't have to like of course I have to think about before I will say I would say something, but most of the time I will be like totally free about what we talk about, even uh, things that are a part of the research and those stuff. So I think the most important part of our relationship is the communication. I don't need to be like the have that formality. You think about like the hierarchy, like oh he's my supervisor, so I have to act like that, or I have to say just what he's going to hear. So that's most
I
important.
think it's like one of the because we had a we had a good relationship, and I think it was like because I did study abroad, and I knew that how hard it is to coming from Brazil to here because he didn't have U.S. visas and stuff, so he had to go all around, spending the 2 days to come here. 3 days to come here because he couldn't get in the United States. So that was a kind of little bit tough situation. Then now, like, to trying to make an adjustment in the process, and then that might be a kind of a better way that if you find an academic advisor, someone who may have that some types of that study abroad experiences, that makes you that probably may understand your situation. If they're not, then like probably that might, I don't say like treat you very differently, but it's more like a may not let's meet the unique needs of you. That was a kind of little bit quite challenges and stuff too. So, yeah, I'm gonna pass the sheet to what is it a good, I mean, how do these select the academic advisors issue that?
Yeah, I think most of the things are said, but really want to emphasize you should check if the person answers your question, right? I think that's really important in a timely manner. And then you should also meet the person in person so that you can see if the potential advisor is really interested in, yourself personally as well as academically, because I think you can see like if you meet the person in person, like that kind of thing, immediately. So I think that will all be really good way to select supervisor. On a little more academic side, I think it would be nice that a potential advisor has different kinds of research project, so that for you as a PhD student can potentially get involved and learn some of the like research methodology, or potentially be involved in like research paper writing processes. Because I think those things would be most effectively learned by doing. So yeah, that's why.
And the other thing is like for the international students, probably funding is quite an important thing. And then so might be kind of little bit, it's probably that off the record, but usually like there is like the Japan Society of the Promotion of Science Grant. That's like all faculty members, everyone is eligible to apply. And it's like if we get the funding, it goes to the faculty members, and then so that means like I'm taking care of the kids stuff or part-time jobs, those kind of things. So it's about the academic advisor's own control to do it. And so like this is the reality when you come in into the Tsuba, and so some of the research lab has a quite good amount of the funding, and some that are really challenging the funding situation. That might be a kind of little bit one thing so that you may consider those kind of factors.
One thing can I add? Sure. So in a practical manner, I think when you choose the supervisor, I think you should look at their background. I think you should choose the supervisor who has a very outstanding background, research background, which is very important. Productive and have a good grant. The big grant is very important because if supervisor is not productive, for example, then that means if you go to that lab, you may not be productive. So you may have a problem. So I think that's very in the practical manner. It's very important to choose the supervisor.
I hesitate to say this one, but yeah. It is, and then I think it's like for the because it's fundings. Because I currently we all have the same funding actually about like $150,000 plus of the grants in individual. But that's one that goes to like just a few students part time. I give to the brand new computers and those kind of thing. And if they travel, we can get to that funding from that. So students don't have to spend the money from their own pockets. So that was a kind of little bit. It's really important. You can travel to the internationally, and I think it's like for those kind of maximizing your opportunity. That makes you yourself to help to become a better researcher. That's one thing. So that was a kind of little bit recommendation.
Well, I'm going to push back on something you said earlier. That you're not good at social relationships, but everything you've said in this seminar shows you're empathetic that you everything you do is grounded in relationships. And knowing you, I know how much you care for your students.
Oh yeah.
So-
yeah, thanks.
So I
really
do.
appreciate.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of students, but I would say you build relationships with all your students, and not just because Gene's saying it.
Well, hey, thank you so much and stuff too. And then I really do appreciate it, everybody. And then it was kind of a great session. And I think it's like we don't have much time then, or maybe opportunity talked about this and stuff.
Yeah.
And what the research lab, other research lab, and even like a student, what they're really thinking about and feeling about. And then I think it's like I really do appreciate the both of you, and Brandon and Aiden, that because in a small society, and that this project is to make yourself to decide to apply for PhD. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for stuff. Thank you.
And you did know you were going to be in this today.
Yeah. Thank you.